Guys, when we have different alleles from mom and dad, we call them heterozygote. And when we have same alleles, for example, here capital G, or if we had, for example, small g, if they are the same, so we call it homozygote or pure. Homozygote or pure means that the alleles are the same. Okay, look at this example also. Another example. See guys here, this is a gene from mom and dad. This is a chromosome from mom, a chromosome from dad. They have the same alleles here, same color, same alleles, so it's homozygote. Here, because they have different alleles, it is heterozygote. By the way, zygote or zygous, it's the same. Now, a very important question, guys, which I'm sure you always ask yourselves: how can you appear with brown eyes after you have already inherited both blue and brown eye color? So, guys, if you inherited the blue color eyes from your mom and the brown color eyes from your dad, why you have brown eyes? If you have both alleles in your genes, you have both. You have this from mom and you have this from dad. But why your eyes are brown? Don't you guys ask this question? The answer is because the brown eyes are the dominant alleles. The brown eyes or the color brown is dominant. So this allele is dominant. It's strong. And the second one, which is the blue, is weak. We call it in biology recessive. So the allele, which is strong in biology, it's called dominant. And the allele, which is weak, we call it recessive. So guys, always the strong allele or the dominant allele is the allele which will be expressed and shown during birth. Whether the weak allele, which is the recessive, will be hidden. It will hide in your genes. It will be masked. It's true that you have it in your genes, but it will not appear. It will always be masked. So you guys have both. You have the blue alleles from your mom and you have the brown alleles from your dad, but the blue eyes or the blue alleles are not shown. They are in your genetics, they are in your genes, sorry, but they are not shown. Now, let's designate symbols. I just told you that we're going to discuss the symbols later. Now, why I'm having here a small letter? Guys, the recessive alleles or the weak alleles, we always refer to them by small letters. We give them small letters. So this is blue eyes. Small b means recessive. As for the brown, because they are dominant, we give them capital letter. So it's always when you want to designate symbols, you give the capital letter for the dominant allele and the small letter for the weak allele or the recessive allele. So you have B capital, B small, and it's always, guys, you write the capital first, then of course the small letter. Okay. Now take this example. You have you have two alleles. You have capital B, which is the brown, and the small b, which is the blue. In your genotype, you have both. So in your genes, you have both alleles. You have capital B and small b, yani brown alleles and blue alleles. But in your phenotype, you only have brown. When I say phenotype, guys, yani what's shown. Okay, so in your characteristics, what's shown is the phenotype, brown eyes. Only brown eyes are shown. But in your genes, in your genotype, you have both. Okay, but unfortunately, the blue eyes, which is a small letter, is not shown in the phenotype. So this is the difference between genotype and phenotype. Let's take another example. Let's take the example of blood group. You guys know that for blood groups, we have three alleles, which are A, B, and O. If you notice